Welcome to the Pandemonium Witches podcast, where the ADHD has just a touch of the tism, where the true crime is just as scary as the hauntings and unsolved cases, and the hosts never stay on topic for long. I'm Kat.
I'm Rachel.
I'm Em. And I'm Meg.
We are the Pandemonium. Good morning.
Morning.
I got a new muumuu from Walmart.
I love it.
What I find funny is I've been wearing muumuus for like 20 years, and it's just now become popularized again.
That's because people realize that the reason why their grandparents or their grandmothers and their mothers were wearing them is because they're so comfortable.
Yeah.
And who wants to wear pants all day in the house?
Not me. Heartburn.
I figured.
You know, it wouldn't be a Pandemonium podcast.
Every episode.
Something happens.
Usually with somebody's sound.
Yeah. So mine was the mic and the echo cancellation were turned off. But yeah, I got a new muumuu. Went to the food bank. I cleaned the grapes, so they're in the fridge right now. I broke my lotion. There we go. Honey, would you like some lotion?
I mean, he probably needs it, especially for his elbows and his knees.
Yeah, the head broke off on the lotion bottle because I got mad at it the other day and threw it off my desk.
Likely story.
Oh, you shush. And today I am learning how to bake a cake. We're slowly expanding because Rachel and Emily are the two, and Meg.
We're the bakers.
Are
We're
the cooker. I am the cooker. I make everything, and
the only thing you bake is the bread.
I am not making a cake from a box. I do need to follow directions because with bread, it's not really, it's a science thing, and same with baking. So I'm hoping, because we're making somebody's birthday cake. It's his birthday. I think this is coming out on his birthday. Let me take a look.
Or it's close enough to his birthday.
The day before. So happy birthday, honey. You're welcome. Hydration stations.
I need to get a different color one so that way people would be like, she's always drinking out of the same one. I do wash it, guys. I promise.
I do too. So like, I hand wash it every other day. I wash it in the dishwasher on Sundays, which she knows. So like after we record and I finish drinking the whole thing, I'll empty it out, stick it in the dishwasher, and then I use my other tumbler. But
do you take the silicone seal off of the lid?
Now that I know that it can be taken off, my dumbass left it on for 3 straight cycles, and I was like, why is it leaking? And she tells me,
you have to take, well, that and junk grows in there. So yes, if there is a silicone, essentially a silicone O-ring around on your lid, please take it off and wash it and wash where it went.
Not that one. I'm talking about the bottom ring.
Oh yeah, that too. I was talking about the one on the lid. Wash that.
Remove that. Like that's a duh. That's a definite.
But the amount of people that don't realize that you're supposed to take it off and clean it is astounding. Like,
really?
The amount of people that I had to tell them that I had to give them one of the preschool's, their child, the preschool cup, because the cup that they sent in with their child was growing a science experiment. And they're like, oh, I didn't know you could take that off. We were just sticking it in the dishwasher and figured it would get clean. And some of these parents had multiple children.
No, ma'am.
And they were wondering why their child was always getting sick.
Yeah. Nope.
So after I took it apart and I would show them that, yes, that's come apart. All these parts are supposed to come off. their child suddenly stopped getting sick all the time. Because you're introducing bacteria into their system they don't need.
Yeah. So ex-best friend never washed her bottles. And I used to have my, the black one. I had 2 of those before you bought me my other one. So I now have 3 plus the pink one. No. I left the other 2 with Emily. But still, I had a tumbler for every day of the week. So I would wash it, and then when I go to bed, make a new one. And also, guys, if you haven't taken your meds, please take your
Take
meds.
his meds.
While we're like kibitzing a little bit before we start on today's road trip.
Oh my god!
Road trip. Where we're going off to?
Beep beep.
Boop boop. I love that sound that I made. It is so stinking cute.
I love it.
We're of course making a new one for Alex and Nowhere Kids next season, but I am so excited for that song. Apparently they wrote something and it's like creepy cowboy.
Man, I can't wait to hear it.
I am so excited. So anyways, I remember coming home one day and I got the baby ready for daycare because I was going to drop him off at daycare in the afternoon. And I grabbed her bottle because I'm cleaning up the stuff in the kitchen, and I passed it under my nose and I went, whoa. And it was like yeast. Like you could smell. And I called Emily and I was like, I don't know what to do. She goes, what do you mean? I was like, I've never smelt this smell before coming out of a water jug. Turns out she was interchanging it. So instead of just using water, she was using like coffee and tea and not rinsing it out and not washing it in between. So it had grown a ring of yeast around on the inside. And
that's almost as bad as the curdled milk smell.
Worse. It was worse. But yeah, no, I remember I also had to clean out her car when she had to go into the hospital. So anyways, guys, as that angry, what's her name? The angry chef you always send me. What's her name? On Facebook. Aggressive.
I send you a lot of things.
Yeah, aggressive tutorials. I can't remember her name. She's the one that always goes, wash your damn hands. Wash your damn hands, guys. Wash your ass.
Nothing's coming to mind right now.
Sauce and ADHD is her name. Aggressive tutorial lady. That's her.
Yes, okay.
So do you know where we're going today on our road trip? Did you already forget?
I did already forget. It's been a night.
I know. So on the last episode where we discussed this state, because we're revisiting this state, you can go back to the episode. It's season 1, episode 47. T is for Texas. Haunted Highways, Lone Star Spirits, and Texas Terror, published on 10/18/24. We are rediscussing Texas. So a few things we discussed on that episode was the Driscoll Hotel, the Littlefield home, the tavern in Austin, which I went to. Well, we drove past it. We were not about to stop. The AI engineering building in Central Texas. In Corpus Christi, the USS Lexington. In Galveston, the Hotel Galvez. In Houston, the La Carafe dive bar. The Hill House in Mineral Wells. The Alamo in San Antonio. The Magnolia Hotel in Seguin. And we touched base on the killing fields in League City, but that is, again, being saved for a later episode because it will probably be a 2-parter. But as you know, this wouldn't be a Pandemonium episode if it weren't more haunted shit for us to talk about. So we already went over the history. So if you guys want to go back, listen to the history on that episode. It's episode 47. But this is your friendly reminder. This is a Pandemonium Witches podcast trigger warning. The following episode contains graphic violence and gruesome depictions. Listener discretion is advised. This information details tragic and disturbing events. It is important to remember that these individuals are a representation of a small minority of the population. Their actions do not reflect the character of a vast majority of people. That being said, this episode does contain a trigger warning. So I am sorry about that. Took a little break for a second. Texas is the scene of several notorious serial killers throughout history. Some of the most widely recognized include Dean Corll, also known as the Candyman. He was active in Houston in the early 1970s. Dean was responsible for the murders of at least 28 teenage boys and young men, aided by teenage accomplices. So, teenage accomplices actually helped him carry out his murderous activities. Angel Maternio Resendez, the railroad killer. Angel was active in the 80s and 90s, committing murders across the U.S. and Mexico, often near railroad tracks. He was apprehended in Texas and executed in 2006. Kenneth McDuff, also known as the Broomstick Killer, which was requested, which we will cover on an alternate episode, not this month, because we're only talking about hauntings per request. Kenneth was convicted of multiple murders in 1966, sentenced to death, then paroled, only to be convicted of more murders, and ultimately executed in 98. This next guy was also requested, Carl Eugene Watts, also known as the Sunday Morning Slasher. He was active in Texas and Michigan, believed to have unalived dozens of women between 1974 and 1982. He died of cancer while serving life sentences in prison. So let's just little noise for the action. Your character that you discussed a week ago, Genene Jones, the Angel of Death, pediatric nurse, suspected of killing as many as 60 infants under her care in a Texas hospital during the late 1970s and early 80s. If you guys want to go listen to that episode, it is on season 1, episode 99, Medicine and Murder, the Deadly Career of Genene Jones. Next is Henry Lee Lucas, also known as the Confession Killer. If you guys haven't seen it, it's on Netflix. There's a documentary about him. His teeth. Let me tell you, I base people on how evil they are on how fucked up their teeth are. Which is, kind of true considering my track record. So while Henry Lee confessed to hundreds, if not thousands, of murders, most were later completely discredited. He was convicted of unaliving at least 11 people in Texas and other states, and also died in prison in 2001. Notable other unsolved cases, we have the Phantom Healer, which is the Texarkana Moonlight Murders, which has also been requested. In 1946, an unknown individual attacked couples in Texarkana, unaliving 5 and injuring 3. The Servant Girl Annihilator, also known as the Austin Axe Murderer. It was an individual who terrorized Austin in the late 19th century, unaliving 8 people and injuring several others with an axe. So, that's not why you guys came here. We're here for the haunted crap. So, are you ready? Are you sure? Oh, well. First on our stop is known as the Devil's Backbone. It's a long stretch of road in Hill County, and it's celebrated for breathtaking vistas and eerie legends. It's a winding route on Ranch Roads 12 and 32. It extends from San Marcos all the way through Wimberley and Blanco, and it gives anyone who travels it a scenic journey through the Edwards Plateau. It's also recognized for rich cultural heritage, influenced by a blend of English, Spanish, and German traditions. So, Caucastic, 90% Caucastic. So, The Devil's Backbone goes through rugged terrain of the Texas Hill Country, and it provides panoramic views of rolling hills, limestone ridges, and the expansive Balcones Fault, which is, fault line. The picturesque route is a favorite among photographers and nature enthusiasts, especially during sunrise and sunset when the landscape is bathed in golden hues. And just to show you what it kind of looks like. You okay, honey?
Me or your honey over there?
What appointment? Oh, that's right.
It's very pretty, both of them.
They're
Sorry.
they're very.
I keep forgetting I'm muted.
We have to mute ourselves because otherwise, when I'm editing, it's all you hear is do 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 every time somebody talks. So we don't do that to each other. It's quite pretty, beautiful, same thing at the same time. So beyond it being naturally just absolute stunning, the Devil's Backbone is enveloped in a tapestry of severe paranormal and ghost stories. Locals and visitors alike recount experience of unexplained phenomena. Apparitions of Confederate soldiers have been seen on horseback along the road, which, there are remnants of Civil War era history in that era. They still have archaeologists go out from time to time to do digs. Some travelers have also reported seeing sightings of Spanish monks in traditional garb, believed to be the spirits from the region's colonial past, which is also plausible as well. Native American spirits were once and were often seen in the area because Comanche and Lipan Apache tribes did rule that area. And it's thought to be haunted by their restless spirits because, of course, their burial sites were undug. So, there's also an eerie wolf apparition that is said to appear, adding to the area's mystique. All of those were verbal stories and have been passed down through the generations, contributing to the Devil Backbone reputation as one of the most haunted roads in all of Texas, aside from, the usual, the killing fields. For those intrigued by both natural beauty and supernatural lore, a drive along the Devil's Backbone offers a unique experience. The route is accessible year-round, with spring and fall providing particularly pleasant weather for exploration. As somebody who has lived here for 2 summers back to back, can confirm, do not go during the summer. Yesterday it was 108.
And this is in October.
It's not fall. It's fall, but it's not fall. While the road is generally safe, it's advisable to travel during daylight, especially if you're interested in the area's haunted history. So we already know, Texas is haunted because gunslingers, the Wild Wild West, and everything like that was a good majority of Texas. We're in the center of Texas. It takes 8 hours for us to even get close to the edge of Texas. We go 8 hours and we're still in Texas.
There's a reason why it's the second biggest state.
I had to get the photos and send them. So next we have the Faust Hotel, which is in New Braunfels. I know for a fact this place is haunted because locals have told me if you ever go out of town and you want to stay at a nice historic hotel, this is a great place to do it, but it's haunted. And I was like, how haunted could it be really? Well, located in New Braunfels, Texas, this historic landmark with rich history has a giant reputation for paranormal activity. It opened in October of 1929, just 2 weeks after the stock market crash, and the Faust Hotel was initially known as the Travelers Hotel. It was built to attract tourists and conventions to the area during a time when the local economy was dipping. So they were like, let's try and find some money. The hotel was constructed on land donated by Senator Joseph Faust, a prominent local figure, and renamed in his honor in 1936. It was designed in the Spanish colonial revival style, and it features ornate terracotta decorative work and remains one of the few mid-rise hotels in the era still operating as a hotel. So there's not, as you can see from the outside, there's not a lot of floors.
It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, including the roof, 5 floors, maybe 6.
Yeah, there's not a ton. But it's been renowned for its luxury. It's known for its ghost stories and paranormal activity. Guests and staff alike have quoted the following. Guests have claimed to see a faceless woman wandering the halls and sitting at the end of beds in certain rooms.
Fuck happened to her face?
What? I love you.
Ice maker chose the worst time to make a new tray of ice.
Mine scares the crap out of me on a daily basis.
So she ripped off her face?
She's just a faceless woman. So
Oh.
it's a head, but there's no
I hate that.
thanks. Reports of unexplained footsteps, doors opening and closing by themselves, which were previously locked, and objects moving without cause. There's also a young girl, which believed to have died in a fire at the hotel in the 20s, that is said to haunt the premises. She has no eyeballs. The stories have contributed to the hotel reputation as one of Texas's most haunted locations. Today, it continues to operate, offering guests a chance to experience its historic charm and haunting nature. You too can get a room at the Fost Hotel because they have daily rates. Isn't that wonderful?
I mean, most places have daily rates, but okay. Did you mean hourly rates?
No, they have daily rates, but I mean, like, it should be hourly. If it's that haunted, people will want to, like, leave. Might as well make that cheddar, you know?
Well, and also, some people would just want to go in for a couple hours to experience the spookiness and then leave.
I mean, that was me when I went to New York, and my mom took us to one of the Grand Hilton hotels out there because they have a life-sized train set for Christmas, and it's literally the trains are as long as my arm, and they carry chocolate to a fountain, and it's quite cool. Anyways, next we have, it's in Galveston, Hendley Road off of the Gulf Coast. Hendley Row is known as the Hendley Building, is a Greek revival style structure located in Galveston Strand Historic District. As Rachel covered on the earlier episode in Galveston, which was last October, constructed between 1855 and 1859, it stands as the oldest remaining commercial building in all of Galveston. Which means what?
I've walked past it. It's very spooky. It's gorgeous looking, but very spooky.
The building was originally developed by the William Henley and Co., a prominent shipping firm that established the Texas and New York packet line. So it was facilitating trade between Texas and New York. It was designed as a commercial hub, housing various businesses and offices. The strategic location, like how it was placed along the Strand, it was at the heart of Galveston's port activities during the 19th century. So its resilience as how it's standing after all this time with how many hurricanes Galveston's been hit with is
Too fucking many.
too fucking many. It survived the 1900 hurricane and the subsequent other ones. So we covered Headley Row on an earlier episode. We covered Henley Row on an earlier episode, which was Nature's Way of Saying Hold My Beer, episode 53, which was on November 1st of 2024. So over the years, Hendley Row has been associated with numerous ghost stories. Obviously, because how many people died in that hurricane?
Almost every single one.
Thank God I was muted. That was not human.
But yeah, so like way too many fucking people died in that hurricane that should have had the chance to evacuate.
I mean, I still remember you talking about the nuns and how the kids and the ropes. That's just so sad. So, visitors and staff have reported eerie occurrences, including shadowy figures moving through hallways and unexplained whispers. No, thank you. Among the famous tale is that of a spectral woman in period clothing, often wandering the upper floors of the building. Others report apparitions such as a Confederate soldier on the roof, a bloodied teenage factory worker from the building's cotton grading days, and the spirits of children believed to be the victims from the 1900 storm of the hurricane.
Galveston is very pretty, but it's very haunted. So
So haunted.
just make sure you have protections in place because otherwise you'll be very drained by the end of your visit.
So today, Henley Road continues to attract, not road, row, continues to attract tourists and ghost enthusiasts eager to explore its storied past. I sent that photo that said I'm just here for the mashed potatoes to Josh. I still haven't seen that movie. I know, because it's Scary Movie 2, right? Scary Movie 2 is the one with the mashed potatoes?
You will laugh so much that you will pee yourself.
He keeps telling me that's my strong hand. I know. Like, I know there are a lot of things. So I watched, what is it? The Twilight spoof, Breaking Wind. I watched that one. Cabin in the Woods. I watched that one a few years ago. Like a few spoofy movies. I finally watched all of Bad Boys, which I love Bad Boys. I love it. Anyways, so whether you're interested in history or architecture, if you guys want to go to the Strand District in Galveston, there is a ton of maritime and commercial museum information out there. But we have one specifically for Carly. We love Carly. She's a Twilight. We all hate on Twilight. It's so good. So this one's called Hell's Gate in Lubbock. It's notorious railroad bridge located in East Lubbock, Texas, near the Lubbock Cemetery. Say Lubbock 20 times fast. Lubbock.
It's the L and the U and the double B's.
The early 20th century structure, built in 1910, was part of the Cross Boyton South Plains Railroad and spans the North Fork Double Mountain Fork of the Brazos River. Say that 20 times fast. Jesus! The trestle stands approximately 40 feet high and is constructed of treated timbers. Although the rails have been removed, the trestle remains a prominent feature in the area. Over the years, Hell's Gates has become the focal point of various urban legends and ghost stories. So just to show you how beautiful it is, it's pretty. It's just easier if I look it up. Because at night, like how it's just lit up.
It's pretty, but very spooky, very horror movie-esque. During the day, not so bad. Nighttime, though.
So a lot of the photos that I see is like you can see the city lights of Lubbock, and it's quite pretty. But it has a ton of urban legends because, of course, it does. Over the years, it's become a focal point of ghost stories. One of the tales suggests in the early 1900s, robbers halted a train on the trestle, murdered all of the passengers, disposed of their bodies into the stream below. And another rumor claims that a young woman committed suicide by hanging herself from the bridge, though no evidence actually supports that. During the 70s, the area was rumored to be a site for satanic rituals. We covered this on another episode. That's not nothing. I mean, it is the thing, but they're more like they'll sacrifice a bucket of KFC. which I get every October. Rachel knows this. That's how I sacrifice my chicken for Halloween. I don't like doing it. Poor chicken. They're
It's a
delicious.
lot less messy that way too.
Yeah, but they're delicious. I mean, chicken's delicious.
No, I meant getting a live chicken to sacrifice it kind of thing. It's so much easier to just get already cooked chicken, and then you don't have to run the risk of it like salmonella and everything.
That's true. Well, did you know that the city of Lubbock, because of how many people were trespassing on the site and doing dumb shit, did you know they installed a chain link fence topped with razor wire on both ends?
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. This way they can prevent people from walking on the trestle because it's old. It was built in the 1800s. While the trestle itself is off limits, visitors can still view the structure from the ground in Dunbar Historical Lake Park, which is quite pretty. Next, this was requested. We are not going to do its own episode on this one because there's not enough. There's enough, but not enough for a 45-minute episode. Built in 1851, the Jefferson Hotel served as a cotton warehouse during the Jefferson's rise as a river port and commercial hub. It was later reconstructed by Henry B. Orton as a fireproof house that spanned a city block. Even though it was called a fireproof house, it sustained a fire in 1869 and it quickly rebuilt and lives on today. Over the years, it transitioned.
It's like saying the Titanic was unsinkable.
Listen, nothing is unsinkable. I am.
Nothing is fireproof either.
No.
At some point, it does ignite.
Yeah. So over the years, it's transitioned through many different variations of itself. So it started as a cotton warehouse, moved from that to a funeral home, roller skating rink, brothel, speakeasy, and finally a hotel. It's a house of many shoes. In more recent times, new owners Jeremy and Pam Jones revitalized the property around 2020, investing in renovations while embracing its haunted reputation. I love you. It is very important to have a crew of insane women on your side. That's why I have you and Emily. Sylvia's not really all that crazy. I mean, she's we're all unhinged.
She has it very well tucked into a box. Trust me, she's crazy.
It's in a box, within another box. And the only reason she takes it out is to open that Pandora's box of unhinged.
It's only when it's extremely called for does she let it have control. Like I said, she has it very, very tucked in, very nicely. But she is crazy. It runs in our family.
I also sent that giant Lego skeleton a week ago. You need to
My bad.
actually look at the shit we
Listen, I do. And then I forget.
No, you listen. Anyways, so today it's marketed as the Jefferson Palace Hotel, not the Jefferson Hotel. And it promises guests a cabinet of curiosities with antique themed rooms. So, as far as the haunting goes, there is one known as the Mill Children, playful apparitions of a boy in knee breeches and a girl in a pinafore, believed to be tied to the warehouse days. They're known for their laughter, chasing guests, and misplacing belongings. They do have their eyeballs. A vanishing man, a tall, lanky figure, not finger, in a long coat and boots, who appears and disappears at will, sometimes seen in rooms or reflections or out of the corners of their eyes. Libby in white, also known as the Haunted Bride, a young woman in a bridal gown with golden hair who is often seen hovering or near a bed, especially in room 19. Her presence has followed this bed through room relocations over time. So they're assuming she had died in the bed the day of her wedding. There is also a Book of the Dead. The hotel maintains a book where guests document their experiences. That's side-eye.
Usually when people say they have a Book of the Dead, it's this horrific book that is like to bring like full of like evil and dark magic and stuff. So that hence my side eye. Not
Well,
a, oh, this is going to be a collection of everybody's experience with the dead.
so it writes down like who is dead and like what rooms they haunt and stuff like that. But current owners encourage the tradition of writing down their experiences and even continued to a new book. So it's spanned books. Other reports of paranormal activity include disembodied voices, footsteps, lights flickering, doors opening, phantom touches, cigar scents, and objects moving on their own. So, room 19, there is also a woman named possibly Judy and the Haunted Bride. So, room 19 is the notorious for the bride, and it was known as the bridal suite. So, Lydia Grigsby, also known as Liddy, um, throat hugged herself from the headboard after being stood up at the altar. Guests report an eerie presence, messages in mirrors, and being watched. Whereas there are accounts of a woman named Judy, who was a Schmeck's worker, who was allegedly knifed and unalived in the bathtub as a possible spirit tied to the room. So, Redditor testimonies add vivid detail. Would you like me to tell you what they are? So, one states, caught plenty of ghost orbs and intelligent audio responses using a spirit box. Saw a young woman dressed in the style of the 1860s. The ghost looked up and then dissolved. Had the entire hotel to myself.
Dissolved? She's not a cup of sugar in hot water.
Had the entire hotel to myself. The amount of audio I collected is absolutely insane. Once I clean it up, I'll be glad to share online. Last was, I caught a shadow moving across one of the downstairs rooms. Heard a little girl running up and down the upstairs hallway. I personally wouldn't mind staying here because I know Alexandra would love to play with other children. So, it'd be fun for her because she scared the new neighbors down the street. So, I mean, they have a 7-year-old and anyways, there's also one called The Lights of Saratoga. We're not talking about Saratoga, California. We're not talking about Saratoga Springs. Saratoga Light, Big Thicket Light, or the Ghost Road Light illuminates Bragg Road in the night in East Texas. Deep in Big Thicket of East Texas, a former railroad spur affords visitors a glimpse of a bobbing, shimmering light known as the Light of Saratoga. It seems to approach, bounce, and change color before disappearing. These are not fireflies. In this area, it is too hot for fireflies to live. Like, it is humid here, but not as humid as Mississippi or Louisiana or anything like that. It is definitely hotter and more of a dry heat in certain places. It's one of the several.
It's a dry heat.
Shut up. Most days it's not. But it's one of the several ghost lights, or I don't like this term, spook lights. It's lights that appear without an obvious source or explanation, often surrounded by unique mythology encased in Native American culture. So the lights of Saratoga are a mysterious glowing orb, reportedly seen at night along a stretch of dark wooded road in southeast Texas. The lights appear on roughly a 7 to 8 mile long unmapped dirt road, originally the right way of the Santa Fe Railroad branch line connecting Bragg Station to Saratoga. Sippy sippy. The tracks were laid in 1901 and removed in 34, after which the path became a country road traveled by locals. Wouldn't country roads take me home to a place where I belong, West Virginia. This is Texas, not West Virginia. So witnesses describe the light as a floating orb, often bluish white, but occasionally it does turn green or yellow. and appears and disappears at random. It may bob, drift towards observers, and then vanish before they can say anything. Numerous stories have been fixated by locals, not natives, the palm colored variety, and it blends tragedy with the supernatural. So they say it's probably the decapitated railroad man.
Man, was it because he got sucked under the train or because his head popped off?
His head popped off. Says the most common legend is that the lantern of a railroad worker who is still attached to his hand when he died in the wreck, searching eternally for his missing head. Yep, there it is.
I guess he should have lost his head about things then.
I snorted. There's also Spanish treasure, and Civil War spirits that those tales propose of spirits who guard buried treasure, which has never been confirmed or denied in the area, and that the light is remnant of unextinguished fires from post-war burnouts or lost workers or wronged laborers that haunt the road. Because you have to remember, the laborers that created the railroads were either slave labor or inmates from local jails, or both, you know. The last one is one of known as the heartbroken groom. So it states about a haunted groom who walks the road with a lantern searching for his missing bride. And the light is his restless spirit continuing the search. So scientists and skeptics have studied the road. Vehicle headlights have been noted and stated that it's probably just reflections coming off of plants or other little things in the area. Um, Angles might create odd shimmering visuals along with heat, which does happen. Bioluminescence and swamp gas, tree sap or foxfire, which is a fungal luminescence, a natural glow phenomena for decayed wood. But this started when the railroad was still operational, long before cars and electricity, leading some credence to older non-vehicular sorts. Starting in the 60s, local newspapers like the Counts News popularized light, drawing curious onlookers in and around Texas. Which, I mean, I get it. It's folklore, but I mean, it's probably native legend.
Most likely.
Well, you're going to love this next one because it's German immigrants.
That's debatable. Not that I don't like German immigrants, more of how I'm going to like the story or not.
The Menger Hotel was established in 1859, and it was one of the hotels that I told you I loved its architecture and I wanted to stay there. And then I said, never mind, I'm not going to stay here. This is the hotel. So, established in 1859 by German immigrants, William and Mary Menger, it's located adjacent to the Alamo in San Antonio, Texas. It's one of the oldest continuously operating hotels west of the Mississippi River, and has hosted numerous notable figures such as Ulysses S. Grant, Teddy Roosevelt, and Babe Ruth. The hotel was added to the National Register of Historical Places in 1977 and is a contributing building in the Alamo Plaza Historical District. So, there's a ton of tiny shops and shopettes in that area. It's quite cute. Am I going to go there without my husband? Never. But it's renowned for history and its numerous ghost stories, which it's the Alamo. Of course, there's ghosts. So it is one of the most haunted hotels in all of Texas and has a reputation as such because our lovely Bagel Bites has been here. So, some of the most notable legends include Sally White, which was a chambermaid allegedly murdered in 1876, whose spirit is said to linger in the hotel, particularly the lobby area, helping patrons to their rooms. She's still working.
Sweet of her.
I know. Then there's Captain Richard King, the founder of the King Ranch, who died in the hotel in 1885. His presence is still felt in the King Ranch suite. Then there's the Spanish-speaking spirit known as Victor. He encountered many paranormal investigators and is believed to be a former guest. And then there's ghost enthusiasts like Texas ghost chasers and ghost hunters alike who use dowsing rods and the Estes method to communicate with these entities, capturing evidence on EVPs and photos. Today, the hotel continues to operate, offering guests a chance to experience historic charm and sleep in a room with haunted reputation. For more information, if you want to go visit, you can stay for the night. They do have great food and drinks. I don't drink, but apparently it's great. But there's a lot of links, and I do have them at the beginning of this episode. So, not the beginning, but you know what I mean. They have a whole square that is haunted. And we were coming up on the 1 hour mark, and I have 4 more.
It's a long episode.
It's not going to be too long. It's not going to be as long as the last 2. But we have the Celt Irish Pub, which is in downtown McKinney. It's renowned not only for its authentic Irish ambiance and extensive whiskey collection, but also for its intriguing haunting history. So it's undergone several transformations over the years. In the late 1800s, it began as a rough-hewn wooden structure, originally serving as a brothel.
There it is.
We support all forms of shoes in this house. By the early 20th century, it had evolved into a saloon, frequented by famous figures that we discussed in the Missouri episode, Frank and Jesse James. The saloon was reputedly, equipped with trap doors. I know, I got one right here. You see this one? Huh?
I was like, I just have a little ringlet over here. Now you're muted.
A few in the front here, but I flick them back. So there were trap doors and secret exits to facilitate quick getaways during law enforcement raids. Bullet holes from past shootouts are still visible in the pub walls. So in 2014, the establishment rebranded itself as the Celt, embracing Irish heritage while preserving its historic charm. The ghost stories that have been reported is a man wearing a long overcoat and a top hat, not cap, believed to be a lingering spirit from the building's past. Other unexplained phenomena is dishes and silverware moving on their own. And an eerie hotspot is the ladies' restroom, where employees have sensed a creepy presence and occasionally glimpsed an apparition of a man in a hat and overcoat.
Well, that's just rude of him. Quit being a peeping Tom.
I know! The pub features a stop on the annual Legends of McKinley Ghost Walk, a guided tour that delves into the city's spooky past. You too can get ticket every October, so if you're in Texas and you want to go to McKinley Square, I suggest going. Lots of great food, lots of great history. It's wonderful. But there's
Go for the food and the history and not for the ghosts.
Well, there's 50 different types of whiskey. So I think Dakota might want to go here.
Again, I'll go for the history and the food. Not the spirits. Not those spirits.
Well, next, if you want other spirits, we have the Lone Star Wine Cellars. It's located in historic downtown McKinney and was established in 2003 by Ron and Deanna Ross. Not Diana, complete different person. It's a family-operated winery, and it's situated in the historic Ritz Theater building. It offers cozy, Cheers-like atmosphere where locals and visitors gather to enjoy North Texas wines, live music, and have food. It offers curated wine flights, such as the Trust Us flights, where guests answer a quick 5-question survey, and they recommend wines tailored to their taste. And they also have, of course, a charcuterie. Is that what that one lady says? Or an amuse-bouche?
Pretty much.
There's also an event called the Vino Voyage, an immersive wine and food pairing experience. Now, the building housing the cellars is dating back to 1928 when it became the Ritz Theater. The first film was Our Dancing Daughters, starring Joan Crawford. Notably, it was one of the last silent films ever made and marked the transition to talkies, or movies with sound. Given its long history, it's no surprise that it's haunted. And ghost stories in the building are not well documented, but it does have a reputation. So if you guys want to go there, they do have operating hours on their website, but it is in McKinley Square. Next, we had something that a local wanted us to cover, Old Alton Bridge, aka Goatsman Bridge. It's in Denton County near Denton and Copper Canyon. Built in 1884 by the King Iron Bridge Manufacturing Company of Cleveland, Ohio, it was named after the now vanishing town of Alton, which existed from about 1848 to 1856 before it became abandoned. It was constructed through Truss Bridge and connected to the small communities of Alton and Denton. At the time, Alton was a county seat, but after Denton claimed the title, Alton became a ghost town. Initially, it carried horses, wagons, and later automobiles across Hickory Creek. It was a part of a vital route for farmers moving livestock and goods. But as you know, large roadways became possible later on. So by 2001, the bridge was closed to vehicle traffic and replaced by modern concrete bridge. Today, it's a pedestrian and equestrian crossing, popular for hitchhikers and paranormal thrill seekers. The bridge's infamous legend revolves around a figure known as, simply, the Goat Man. They have claimed to have seen red glowing eyes peering from the darkness in the woods, growling or hoofbeats on the bridge even when no animals are around, overwhelming smells of decaying flesh or sulfur. There are sulfur springs in the area, so probably where it's from. Car trouble and electronics malfunctioning near the bridge on the alternate bridge. And some say if you cross the bridge at night without headlights and honk 3 times, the Goat Man will appear and take you.
Or you get into a wreck because you're crossing the bridge with no headlights.
2, it is a famous and favorite spot of ghost hunters and enthusiasts alike. YouTubers and paranormal shows like Ghost Adventures have traveled to the area. It's also rumored to be a hot spot for occult activity with reports of candles, animal bones, and strange symbols found nearby. The next one is one of my favorites, and then we have 2 left. Okay? So that was all one sheet of it's all in the nearby area. So next is the Terralinga ghost town. In the mid-1880s, miners discovered a cinnabar, an ore used to extract mercury or quicksilver in the area. By 1888, the production kicked off, and by 1900, 4 mining companies were at work, drawing up to 2,000 residents. The Chisos Mining Company, founded in 1903 by Howard Perry, became one of the nation's leading mercury producers. They were the guys who mainly produced most of the mercury in the United States. During World War I, production surged, and by 22, Terralinga supplied 40% of the U.S. mercury market. In the 30s, though, it brought declining mercury prices and challenging operating conditions, so the mining company filed for bankruptcy in 42. And by the end of World War II, the mining community had largely vanished. By then, Terralinga had become a ghost town. In the late 1960s and 70s, though, it saw a cultural revival sparked by inaugural chili cook-off in 67 and renewed interest in the area due to the Big Bend National Park. Terralinga has regained life through tourism, galleries, restaurants, guest lodgings, blending history with modern touches. Though it is a ghost town, it's home to a small but vibrant community of 78 people as of 2020. Attractions include the Terralinga Trading Company, the Starlight Theater, the Perry Mansion Ruins, and the Serene Boot Hill Cemetery. So, the town is haunted itself, the whole town. The whole town. I feel like the mom from the whole time, the whole time. So visitors often report eerie sensations, flickering lights, disembodied voices, ghost sightings, touches, and whispers, especially near the mansion and the cemetery. The Starlight Theater is now a restaurant and a music venue. It has its own ghostly tale, Staff and patrons claim to see a woman in a long dress watching them from the windows, or appearing in
Is it white?
no, appearing in mirrors.
Or at least it's not white.
I know. Most of our stories involve women in white dresses, which, eh, you know, it's become it's a white dress. We already know what's going to happen. They're going to start screaming and screeching, and everybody's going to die. Um, so she watches them from windows or appears in mirrors, only to vanish when approached. Then there's the cemetery, which dates back to the early 1900s, and visitors describe faint voices, sudden chills, and a spiritual presence among the graves of miners and early settlers. Then there's also this one teeny tiny thing about a colorful local legend. It suggests that the mercury poisoned miners became glowing ghosts more visible in the cooler months when visitors are a lot more plentiful. They're glow in the dark ghosts!
I mean, is that a possibility with the mercury?
Yeah, you can get mercury
Okay.
and glow.
Okay. Because I know with radiation you can glow, so I wasn't sure about mercury.
Although mercury poisoning does not cause a physical glow, it can lead to something known as pink disease, known in infants as infantile acrodynia, characterized by pain and pink discoloration of hands and feet. Different glowing is found in radiation poisoning, which is found in the Radium Girls. If you guys haven't seen the TV show, you guys should watch it. It's fantastic. I haven't finished it. Don't tell me anything. Don't want to know. I already know.
I mean, if you know the history, you already know what happens. They all die.
Listen, I know. Stop it. Okay. So, main source of mercury poisoning from skin products is high level of mercury is in skin lightening creams, medicated soaps, and from mining. So, next we have Emily's favorite on this list, and my least favorite, the Yorktown Memorial Hospital. Rachel, why is it my least favorite?
Because nuns, but also it's a hospital. It's a haunted hospital, and usually
None.
it's because either nuns or just the ghosts in and of themselves. Which you'll hate one of my topics because there's multiple on my list.
I'm apparently very popular this morning.
Apparently.
This is the most popular I have been. But then again, it's the 2nd of October, so everybody needs me. So, built in 1950 and opened in 51 by the Felician Sisters. It's a Catholic order of nuns, and the hospital served the Yorktown and Nordheim communities. Named in the honor of the USS Yorktown, which sunk during World War II, it included two two-story wings, a chapel, offices, and you guessed it, a basement. So, despite surpassing 60% occupancy, the hospital's recorded approximate deaths were 2,000 over its operational lifetime, including an unusually high 500 people in 6 years. Mysterious deaths.
Was there like an epidemic or something? But also, how long were they opened? Because that total number doesn't seem that bad if it was like a really long period.
86. It was open until 86. So 30 years.
Never mind then.
That's why I was like, So the hospital ceased operations in 86, later reopening very briefly as a drug and alcohol rehab facility before closing for good in the early 90s. There are a lot of accounts that say 92, 93. We're just going to say 90s. The property entered private ownership and became a destination for ghost tours and paranormal investigators. It has appeared on our favorite ghost show,
Words are hard.
show and fear at the same time, along with Ghost Adventures and Destination Fear. Do you remember that show? So good.
Right.
So, in 2025, the San Antonio-based paranormal team, Curious Twins tour with Fred and Steven Garza Guzman, they purchased the hospital. They now host guided tours, overnight stays, special events, and filming, while directing proceeds goes towards building preservation and restoration. We love that. However, did you know in the hospital there are a lot of phenomena? Shadow figures, disembodied whispers, and voice recordings, or EVPs, are frequently reported to the buildings. In the nursery, there is a doll that is said to speak, whispering phrases, "Do you love me?" or "Don't you love me?" sending shivers through visitors. The chapel and the surgical areas are known as hot spots. Sightings includes a black specter with glowing red eyes in the chapel, eerie organ music, and oppressive cold spots. Visitors and staff report unseen touches, scratches, pushes, cold drafts, feelings of being watched, or they simply get escorted out of rooms. Unusual sounds, such as wheelchairs rolling on their own, slamming of doors, cries, moans, and distant footsteps echoing through the empty hallways. There have also been ghosts who have been seen, such as TJ, a male spirit who was said to have been an addict and overdosed at the back of the hospital. Sightings occur near the back entrance where his body was found. Dr. Leon Noworski, which was a controversial figure in the hospital's history. He was possibly Texas's oldest medical holding licensed doctor. He was seen in the operating rooms or the doctor's lounge. Story suggests malpractice during surgery that resulted in death. Stacy is a presumable young patient who died there. Her spirit is often seen reading The Pokey Little Puppy and may appear playful or shy around visitors. So if you go back and you watch the Ghost Hunters episode or the Destination Fear episode, they put toys on the ground and have her play with it. And it's the cutest thing ever because she's like turning the flashlights on and off, and then she gets mad because she's like, I want to do something else, and flings the flashlight to the opposite side. Such
like a child.
So the nuns who ran the hospital are still said to haunt the premises with no fate.
Why are they always missing feet?
Listen, they're quiet. Even when they are alive, they are quiet. Visitors,
I just want to know why they lose their feet in death.
My favorite part of this whole thing. You and Josh are going to get slapped the shit out of. Same with Emily. You ready? Visitors, particularly those with visible tattoos, claim to have been slapped or pushed into walls by ghost nuns.
I can hide mine.
He can't hide his.
I just wear long sleeves. It's fine.
He just said the same thing. So, Doug Richards is the last ghost typically seen here. He was a mechanic who died in 1973. Frequent sightings describe a tall figure wearing a white t-shirt and jeans, especially near the basement hallway. He seems to be kind of nice. There have been some accounts on Reddit. You know I like it. Such as Michelle M., whose mother worked there. My mother worked here. Some tales are optimistic, but there are a lot of things that are unexplainable. People do appear and disappear. Somebody's friend reported a doll started talking and said, "Don't you love me? Please don't go." And then it winked, said Ethel. We were skeptics, used a recorder in the basement. You began to hear voices, said a anonymous writer on Reddit. Last on our little visit is the worst thing out of all of this history. Are you ready? This is the main thing for the trigger warning. In Cherokee County, Texas, there is a monument known as the Killow Monument. In the year 1837, Isaac Killow Sr., his wife and 4 sons, 2 daughters and their spouses, several relatives of friends, and a few other people, around 30 in total, immigrated from Talladega County in Alabama to Texas. They settled on Killow Creek, about 7 miles northwest of present-day Jacksonville, and the northwestern part of Cherokee County. Unknown to them, the land they claimed had been subject of an unresolved dispute with the local tribe. A year earlier, the surrounding area had been set aside for the Cherokee tribe under a treaty negotiated by Sam Houston, which we talked about on the Texas episode. Today's the Texas episode. The previous one last year, guys. and John Forbes. However, in December of 1838, the Senate of the Republic of Texas refused to ratify the treaty and formally nullified it, getting rid of the Cherokee land. The tensions between the settlers and the Cherokee, who believed they had already conceded enough, began rising rapidly. So, fearing violence, Killow and his entire party of people temporarily fled to this is Nagadoches. I read it as Nagaduches. Anyways, Cherokee leaders all agreed to allow them safe passage back to harvest their crops on the condition that they would leave the area after. So the settlers returned to gather their harvest. On October 5th of 1838, a group of Native Americans believed at the time to be Cherokees, who have not been part of the agreement, attacked the entire settlement. 10 men were killed outright, including Alan Killow, Sam Killow, George Wood, Isaac Killow Jr., Isaac Killow Sr., Baracus Williams. According to newspaperman Charles Kilpatrick, the attackers seized two 17-year-old girls, Elizabeth Killow and Elizabeth Williams, along with Mrs. Allen Killow and Mrs. George Wood, and all the small children. And they were all carried into the forest and never seen again. 8 women and children in total were taken, while Nathaniel Killow and his wife, Mrs. Samuel Killow, and Mrs. Isaac Killow Sr., Mrs. Isaac Killow Jr., and the baby William managed to hide in a canebrake. After 3 days, they reached Fort Lacey, located on the San Antonio Road near present-day Alto, Texas, which is about 40 miles away. That's a long trek to walk. Well, the attackers were never definitively identified. While many at the time blamed the Cherokee, later historians suggested that Mexicans from the Nagadoches may have instigated the entire attack. This way, they could provoke a war between the tribe and the Republic of Texas, so they can seize land back. Regardless, the aftermath led to retaliatory strike on the peaceful Cherokee village nearby, and the eventual expulsion of Cherokees completely from Texas. A century later, in the 1930s, the Works Progress Administration erected a 30-foot tall red stone pyramid at the site, marking all of the victims' burial place. The historical marker was added in 1965, and today, the monument stands deep in the woods at the end of FM 3431, about 15 minutes outside Jacksonville. Locals say today that the site is still haunted. They have been reported being scratched or attacked, and some claim to hear war chants in the woods late at night. One Reddit poster by the name of LP Kingo 311 wrote, "I've spoken with some ghost hunters and paranormal authors who have said it is one of the most haunted places that they had visited in all of Texas." And that being said, I left the worst for last. You are welcome, Michaela.
That wasn't the worst?
That's what I said. I saved the worst for last.
Oh, I thought you were saying that there was something even worse coming up now.
No. Texas is done. We are done. That is a literal dead horse. We do not have to discuss again.
Okay, I'm glad.
Also, for those of you wondering, no, I don't like purple. This is just insanely comfortable. I hate it, but I liked researching it.
I was okay till the end.
I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not sorry.
Okay.
I'm not sorry, but I'm sorry. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Well, Friday's episode should be interesting because I think it's your turn.
Yes, I think so.
Dun, dun, dun. Because I did 4 episodes in a row. 5, 4, 4, 5. If you guys have anything you want us to start covering next season, start researching, looking into, please shoot us a mail or
shoot us some sort of message.
Send us some sort of request. We do have the Facebook groups and the Facebook page up. So if you go if you go to it, we do have a whole whopping 110 members on our Facebook group. And on our Facebook page, we now have 73 followers. Now, as far as Spotify, we're not making a big dent, which is fine. I don't really care. I just love being here with you and our fellow party possums. We have 106 Spotify followers. That's a metric fuckload, man. And then for YouTube, as of today, we have 26 followers. So 26 whole subscribers. Oh, look at the fluffy butt. She's so cute. So on the website, it says, it's not saying on the app that we have 26 followers, but it does say on the actual website that we have 26 followers. We have 113 videos or episodes for season 1. Season 2 is going to be smaller, more compact. I think we're going to take next October, I think we're going to do something small instead of doing 3 episodes a week, because yours truly is freaking out because I'm trying to do the same as last year, which with only audio, it was fine.
It was nothing compared to video editing as well.
At all, because right now it's taking me, the West Mesa episode took me 4 days to edit. No, 5. It took me 5. And then the Missouri episode only took me 2 days. No, 3. It took me 3 days. So I already have all of the Facebook and everything, but the Missouri episode, I had so many links, I couldn't even post it on Facebook. So I was barely able to put it on Spotify. No, I wasn't even able to put it on Spotify. So the Missouri episode, if you guys were wondering where the links are, they're on our website, which is in our link tree on our Instagram and on our Facebook page. But that's it. That's all I have for today. Nothing more.
Oh, good.
Wow, don't sound so enthused.
Okay, listen. It was a lot. I keep hitting the wrong button. I keep hitting the camera off button, not the mute button. But yeah, so that's all we got for Texas, guys.
We have. But as we said earlier, if you have any questions or you want us to cover other topics for next year, send us an email.
Message us.
Message us, please. Our Instagram and Facebook DMs are open. You can actually message our Facebook page and we will respond back. Either me or Rachel will respond back as quickly as we can.
One of us will answer. You'll get an answer either way.
Either way. As Emily always says,
Do the stupidest of shit.
Please don't.
Please don't. Stay feral.
Bite the hand.
And we'll see you guys next time. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
That's all for this episode. Stay feral, and we'll see you party possums next time.